There are many ways that you can be underrated in the NFL. Sometimes people overshadow you by being a top player. People might think you are washed, but you can prove them wrong with an amazing season. You could be on a terrible team, which never helps your stock. Or you could be criminally underrated because people in your position has much more awards than you. 10. Like, comment, subscribe so I can see what I should do next for my videos. On to the video. My first player I'm going to be talking about is, his stats may not look good, but from what I've seen, he looks like a young Darren Sproles. He is hard to tackle. He makes big plays in big occasions. He's a good kick returner, so that's an added bonus. In 10 games he's played, he has started 2 games with a good 4.9 yards per attempt. That's really good. So he has 315 rushing yards, but again, he's not the main back. The main back is Kenyon Drake here. I mean, he might have 1 rushing touchdown, but he's also a very good receiving back. He has 297 receiving yards, and he has 3 receiving TDs. And every reception, he gets 8.3 yards. So that's looking good. His impact is coming out and just making big plays to help win them the game. And I've seen him destroy the Seahawks, so it doesn't really look good for me. The second player I'll be talking about is Christian Kirk. He doesn't get talked about because of Hopkins, but he produces as the Cardinals slot receiver in Kingsbury's offense. He has 6 touchdowns, averages 53 yards a game, which is really solid numbers, and he averages 15.4 yards per reception. By comparison, Hopkins has 4 touchdowns and 12.7 yards per reception. That's something that you should know. Christian Kirk also has a history of a few solid seasons, but he lost his role because of Hopkins, and Larry Fitzgerald is being a modern folklore for the Cardinals. It's good that Kingsbury is still able to use him in a very dangerous way, and he has also been used as a punt returner at times. Not a very good one, but it's good to see that he's a very versatile receiver. The third player on this list is from my team, the Seahawks. And he is KJ Wright. Maybe I'm biased because I'm pretty sure that I thought he was washed, but he came back and he's proven people wrong. He has made spectacular plays like his one-handed interception, and his plays have been on point, like making lots of good stops, sacking Kyler Murray on that 3rd down. It's good. And that move to the strong side linebacker and putting Jordan Brooks on Will linebacker looks great because KJ Wright looks new and he looks very good. If KJ Wright keeps on playing like this, I'm pretty sure he'll be a Seahawks legend because he spent a long time there. He's been part of their Super Bowl runs and the playoff contention. So if he keeps playing like this, no problem, he'll be a Seahawks legend. The next player I'm going to be talking about is Diontae Johnson. He has been a big part of the undefeated Steelers, and he's a good reason why Big Ben has made it a little bit easier fitting in back with the offense. He has 537 yards with 4 touchdowns, which might not sound like much, but it's pretty good. I mean, he's the starting receiver alongside Juju Smith-Schuster on the Steelers offense, so it looks good. I mean, he is making sure that Claypool has less playing time, but Claypool's still very effective, but Johnson should be talked about more as a very solid receiver for the Steelers. Diontae Johnson has missed a few games, but right now he's catching fire, so it proves that he's becoming ever present for the Steelers, and he will be a much bigger part when they go to the playoffs this season. I fully expect them to go to the playoffs, and I fully expect him to be a big part of that run. The 5th player on this list signed a very expensive contract with the That player is Teddy Bridgewater. Teddy Bridgewater is 13th in passing yards in DJ Moore and Curtis Samuel, which is one of the deadliest. Get the ball deep and he averages lots of yards per game. And he does that with a 72.1% completion rate, which is really good. And that shows how efficient he is as a quarterback. Fair play for Teddy because he came back from a major injury, got benched for Case Keenum. He had to prove himself as a backup for Drew Brees, which he did very well. They barely lost games against other teams, so fair play for signing that contract and showing why he is a major part of the Carolina Panthers and making Matt Rule's time a bit easier. The second to last player I'm going to be talking about is DJ Chark Jr. He is like Allen Robinson. He is a good receiver, but in a terrible situation with a terrible quarterback. Gardner Minshew's not been very good this year, and it doesn't help that Jake Luton's been even worse. Yesterday he threw a 4 interception game, which is terrible. We know he has a track record because he had a 1,000-yard season last year. He has 493 yards, which is really good considering how bad the quarterback play has been. He's on a terrible team, so that never helps his play and that never helps his stock. So if he can find a move to get out of here, or to a team with like a good quarterback, maybe the Packers, because the Packers need a receiver and Aaron Rodgers would be really good. Maybe that would be perfect for him so he can get out of this bad franchise and finally get the credit he deserves for being a very good receiver. And he's young, so he can always improve, which is very, very good for him. The last player I'll be talking about is James Bradberry. He signed a big contract with the Giants and he's looked pretty good so far. He has 3 interceptions. He has only 469 yards allowed, which is really good. He only allows 11.2 fantasy points, or he only allows 77.5 passer rating allowed. The pressure was that he was not going to be very good, but so far he stepped up to the Giants and he looks good. He looks to be their cornerback for the future. Although he is 27, but he still has a good few years left, like 5 or 6 years. So if the Giants can improve, he can be a big part on why they can make the playoffs. If they do, or in the next few seasons, keep an eye out for him when you watch the Giants play. Bradberry is the best Giants corner this season by far. In a video, thank you so much for making it here, and please like, comment, and subscribe so I can see what I should do next. My next idea is making a video discussing about Justin Herbert maybe becoming an MVP candidate or getting some MVP votes. It's all up to you though. So you can always DM me on Instagram. I will reply back if you're not a bot. Or you can always comment and I will respond to them because it's fun. So have a nice day. Please subscribe and